What if I told you that the wealthiest people in the world almost never use their own money to buy property? They've mastered a financial system so powerful that they legally control billions in real estate while risking little to none of their own cash. They use advanced leverage, legal tax loopholes, and financial engineering to acquire assets with little or no money out of pocket. And today, I'm revealing exactly how they do it, so you can start doing the same. Stick with me, because by the end of this video, you'll never look at real estate investing the same way again. Ever heard of a real estate syndication? It's one of the most powerful yet underrated wealth-building tools out there. Imagine a group of investors pooling their money to buy a massive asset. Think apartment complexes, shopping centers, even hotels. The wealthy don't just invest in these deals, them. They're the ones finding these deals, structuring the investment, and managing the project. They start by identifying a prime real estate opportunity. Once they have a solid deal, they start raising capital from high-net-worth individuals, family offices, and institutional investors. They negotiate favorable terms with lenders, oversee the renovation or development, and manage the property. For their efforts, they command hefty fees and a significant chunk of the profits. This model allows them to leverage other people's money to acquire massive assets and reap the lion's share of the profits. Here's a little-known secret. You don't need a mountain of cash or a bank's blessing to buy real estate. The ultra-wealthy often bypass traditional financing and negotiate directly with sellers to structure deals with little to no money up front. This is the power of seller financing. Why go through bank approvals and paperwork when you can strike a deal directly with the seller? With seller financing, you become the bank. Sellers, especially those with unique properties or circumstances, often prefer the certainty of a sale and a steady stream of passive income. Imagine finding a property with an older owner eager to retire. They want a smooth, simple exit strategy. You propose a slightly higher purchase price, but structure a deal with monthly payments directly to them over a set period, with interest. The seller gets a premium price and reliable income, and you acquire a valuable asset with little to no money down. This is how the ultra-wealthy operate, and it's a strategy you can implement right now. Now let's dive into the BRRRR method, a strategy so powerful, it's like having your own personal money printing machine for real estate. BRRRR stands for buy, rehab, rent, refinance, repeat. You start by finding a distressed property that needs a little TLC. The key is to find a property with good bones in a desirable location that you can acquire at a significant discount. Once you've secured the property, it's time to roll up your sleeves and get to work. The rehab phase is where you add value. You renovate, modernize, and transform the property. The goal is to increase the property's value significantly through strategic improvements. After the rehab, you rent out the property to tenants, generating a steady stream of passive income. Once you've established a solid rental history and increased the property's value, you refinance the property based on its new, higher appraised value. By refinancing, you pull out most, if not all, of your initial investment capital, freeing it up to do it all over again. Each time you complete a BRRRR cycle, you're multiplying your capital, expanding your portfolio, and building a real estate empire. This system is repeatable, allowing you to build wealth exponentially. Traditional banks are slow, bureaucratic, and risk-averse. The ultra-wealthy often bypass banks and tap into a hidden world of alternative financing, private and hard money lenders. Private lenders are high-net-worth individuals, family offices, and private funds with capital to deploy, and a hunger for above-average returns. They make decisions based on the deal itself, not your financial history. This means faster approvals, more flexible terms, and a willingness to finance deals that traditional banks wouldn't touch. Need to close on a property quickly? Private lenders can make it happen. Have a unique investment strategy? Private lenders are more open to thinking outside the box. Private and hard money loans typically come with higher interest rates, but are designed to be refinanced once the property is stabilized. The wealthy secure a property quickly with private money, add value, and then refinance with a traditional bank at a lower interest rate. This allows them to pay off the private lender, pocket the difference, and move on to their next acquisition. Using 1031 exchanges and Delaware statutory trusts to build generational wealth. The ultra-wealthy use powerful tax strategies to legally defer, minimize, and even eliminate their tax burdens. One of their most powerful tools is the 1031 exchange. The 1031 exchange allows investors to defer capital gains taxes on the sale of an investment property by reinvesting the proceeds into a similar like-kind property. You sell an investment property for a profit and reinvest those proceeds into another investment property of equal or greater value within a specific time frame. By doing so, You're deferring the tax liability until you eventually sell the replacement property. The wealthy often combine 1031 exchanges with Delaware statutory trusts, DSTs. DSTs are passive investment vehicles that hold fractional ownership in large-scale, professionally managed properties. By rolling the proceeds from a 1031 exchange into a DST, investors can diversify their holdings, enjoy passive income, and continue deferring capital gains taxes. This strategy is especially powerful for building generational wealth. By continually deferring capital gains taxes, the wealthy can pass more of their assets on to their heirs with minimal tax consequences. It's a legal and effective way to create a legacy of wealth that lasts for generations. The moment you achieve a certain level of wealth, you become a target. The ultra-wealthy are masters of asset protection, using a combination of legal entities, trusts, and strategic planning to shield their wealth. They don't acquire assets in their own name. Instead, they create a web of legal entities to protect their assets and minimize their liability. One of their most powerful tools is the Limited Liability Company, LLC. LLCs act as a legal shield, separating personal assets from business liabilities. They often use land trusts to hold real estate assets, obscuring their ownership from public records. For the ultimate in asset protection, they turn to states with favorable asset protection laws, creating entities like Series LLCs and anonymous trusts. Your journey to financial freedom starts now. Every billionaire started small. You don't need millions, you need knowledge. Start with one strategy, syndications, BRRRR, seller financing, and scale from there. Drop a comment below. Which strategy excites you most? I'll reply with a free resource to get you started. Smash that like button, subscribe, and grab the free guide below. Remember, wealth isn't about how much you make, it's about how much you keep. See you in the next video.